In Money Watch, the Federal Reserve is eyeing yet another interest rate hike.
Yes, policymakers are awaiting additional information before moving forward with the decision. Many experts expect that the next rate hike could be just 0.25 percentage point. That would be a decline, a major decline from the larger jumps used by the Fed to combat inflation in 2022.
Let's bring in Sultan Meghji. He is the former Chief Innovation Officer at the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, FDIC. He's also a professor at Duke University's Pratt Engineering School. Sultan, welcome. Thanks for joining us to chat about this. What economic indicators will the Fed use in making its decision on this next rate hike?
Well, the Federal Reserve uses a tremendous amount of data, but the one that we're all looking at for the coming week is consumer pricing. And so on Thursday this week, there'll be some new consumer pricing data. And what the Federal Reserve is going to be looking for is the increase in pricing going down, and coupled with that is spending going down. And if they're seeing both of those, then they'll feel like the rate hikes taking us up to 4.5 that they've done for the last year will have, started to have an impact, and then they'll step back from 0.5 point to 0.25 point.
Well, tell us, if they did go to a 0.25 percentage point rate hike inflation, how might that impact? A quarter of a percentage point. Yep. How would that impact inflation? Because we know that they've done these 0.75 increases in more of an aggressive attempt to try and bring it down. Does that help with this smoother tapering off that we're hoping that the Fed is going to give us?
I mean, that's exactly what the Federal Reserve is trying to do, right? They're trying to step the brakes very hard on the economy, but then loosen up as quickly as possible. And so what they're trying to do is get us to around 5%, which is what they've publicly said for most of 2022. And I think they want to get us to 5% as quickly as possible. We're hearing a little bit of chatter that maybe it'll be a little above 5%, through the middle of this year. But it certainly seems like the quicker we can get to the top and start plateauing and then backing it off, the better off they'll think the economy is doing.
And Sultan, what did you make of this? Fed Reserve Chair Jerome Powell made a point to say that the Fed is not a climate policymaker earlier today. We know we have all sorts of crazy weather in California, really all over the country all the time. But in your view, what prompted him to make these remarks? And what's the point he's trying to make here?
Chair Powell, like many other previous Fed chairs, at some point has to kind of remind everyone that the Federal Reserve, as the U.S. central bank, is independent of the rest of the U.S. government. He doesn't report to Congress. He doesn't report to the president. And what he's trying to do is stay independent of any kind of ongoing political, social issues that are going on right now. And, there's a lot of chatter, especially with the new Congress, about changing certain policies that you've seen through the regulatory community. The SEC has been looking at climate and ESG as one example. And I think the point that Chair Powell is making to the incoming House is that, we're independent. We're here to think about the macro economy of the United States. We're not here to make domestic policy outside of our areas of expertise. The draft of the speech, though, that he's given is it has a kind of an assumed butt hanging off the back of it. So we'll have to see, what the chair says versus what the Federal Reserve actually does.
Interesting. He said we should stick to our knitting. I haven't heard that expression before.
Yeah.
All right. Sultan Meghji, thank you.
Thanks so much.